My love. I ain't fucking around. It's Hanging with Virgo. Street level spirituality coming at you with another month of stars and cards. We're gonna look into your future. We're gonna see what your soul needs to grow. We're gonna see what kind of shit's coming up, so you're prepared to handle it. Welcome to Hanging with Virgo. Much appreciated for you guys coming and hanging out. I'm a Virgo. I love me a Virgo, so we're gonna do it. Today I thought I'd wear, I'm a graphic designer, so this is a shirt I made for this company, Underground Sun, badass record label. And then I made this logo here for Diz. He's a battle rapper. So I'm representing my work. Shit, I even made that logo right there. Street level spirituality. That's how we do it. Virgo, what the fuck? Virgo's been coming back to life after years and years of not knowing who they are and what they're doing. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, get all this new opportunity, this new growth, this new energy. I thought these colors would be badass for Virgo. Kind of Batman, right? Got fucking rad. It's rad. How are you guys doing? Virgos, they care a lot. They're kind of cold. They're kind of all those things. Good people, man. They always say the world should be run by Virgos, but they doubt themselves too much, right? Anywho, we got June 2020. A lot of retrograde planets, a lot of wacky stuff going on. We got a Virgo, Mercury retrograde coming up, which is our planet. Let's get into the astro weather. Let's see what the hell is going on. We got no shit. God damn it! I was trying to surprise you guys. No, it's this one. No, this one. This one, astro weather. It's time for astro weather. Woo! There we go. All right. Welcome to astro weather for the month of June 2020, Virgo. Let's talk about what the hell is going on in the stars. If you look at the handy chart to the left, you'll see June 5th, 2020. So we have the first badass Big Bang Boogaboom aspect of the month. It's a full moon in Sagittarius and a lunar eclipse. We also have the sun in Gemini opposite moon in Sagittarius. Tune in and get spiritual. Call it in, Virgo. Time to get real and look at your long-term goals. Take the time to consider other people when designing your future. June 5th, full moon, Sagittarius energy, aiming for the future. Got a little arrow out. We're picking a direction, we're letting go. Boom, right? Sagittarius. Plan your future, but plan based on your spiritual needs, not on your intellect, right? Not on what you think you should do or what people are telling you should do, but on how you feel and what you need. A lot of maturing going on right now. Just time to reflect on your long-term goals and planning moving forward. June 5th. Call it in, Virgo. Do it! In between June 5th and June 18th, not a lot of super important stuff going on, but a lot of cloudy communication. We have a lot of energy of Sun and Gemini mixing with squaring with Mars and Pisces and squaring with Neptune in Pisces. So that's kind of Gemini energy of wanting to really connect mentally and communicate and talk and get out there and get active. But with Mars and Pisces, it's like it wants to move forward. It's kind of the planet of war, right? The planet of masculinity and taking action. But in Pisces, it just feels really cloudy and spaced out. So there's going to be some crossed wires there about moving forward with things. And then with the Sun and Gemini squaring Neptune and Pisces, well, Neptune is already kind of spacey. It can also be deceptive. But it can also be very altruistic and beautiful too in a lot of ways. But in Pisces, again, it's in such a mystical space. Now it could be really interesting. Instead of crossed wires on June 11th, it could be, finding ourselves communicating and connecting with really, really powerful, intuitive or spiritual sources. So you might find yourself channeling and shit like that. So it's just not a great time to probably be getting blitzed on alcohol and drugs and stuff like that. You're probably too spacey, but who knows? Do some automatic writing, hang out. call someone, you know, you might go on a spiritual journey with someone. It could be really beautiful. June 18th, big one of the month, Mercury retrograde in Cancer until July 12th. Mercury retrograde always affects Virgos in a powerful way, and Geminis. It's the planet of Virgo and Gemini. How can we think clearly when our emotions are turned up to 11? It's going to take focus to see things for what they really are. This is an opportunity to purify our emotional balance with reality. So, really getting into touch with the emotions, knowing what's true, what's not. Mercury retrograde in Cancer is going to really bring out those feelings about home and feeling loved and nurturing. And, you know, the communications. Maybe we didn't talk to someone kindly, and now we're looking at that and feeling it in our hearts and like being like, oh, I want to like warm things up. It's this general feeling of wanting to warm things up and connect with people and clear the air in areas that maybe there's been some heart pain in family and friendships. So be kind, be good, speak kindly. Mercury retrograde is not a great time to move forward. You definitely want to check your oil, check your engine light. Anything to do with travel, airline tickets, anything like that could all get screwy. Also with computers, you want to back things up. It's a great time to back it up now before June 18th. You don't want a hard drive to fail. You don't want to accidentally delete a bunch of files. So just back it up, back it up. June 20th, 2 days later, the sun enters the sign of Cancer. Happy birthday, Cancers, or Virgos with Cancer aspects. It's Crab Fest everywhere under the sun. We want to feel at home. We want to feel safe, loved, nurturing, and we want to be loving. So, you know, obviously anything in Cancer is sensitivity, kind, family, home. That's the theme. That's the vibe for a while. June 21st, the next day, we've got a new moon in Cancer and an annular solar eclipse. The gas pedal is pushed on an already emotional month. We reach its height and we see what we're made of here. And it could be a peak moment during this multiple planet retrograde or Mercury retrograde cycle. So, June 21st, things might peak a little bit emotionally, and this is where we might just have to dig a little deeper and kind of see what we're made of, and we might impress ourselves with how skilled and talented we are in managing difficult situations. Don't let your emotions get the best of you, right? You know, and triple check your communications, you know. June 23rd, we have the 5th planet entering retrograde, which is Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Neptune is an interesting planet full of all sorts of fantastical ideas and perceptions. Pisces is like the ultimate depths of the psychic waters, right? So let's all meet at Planet Hollywood in the 16th dimension and order me a wake-up call. I'll be there in 15 negative, I don't fucking know. All we needed was another planet in retrograde, following the 3 from May, and Mercury retrograde in Cancer in June. And now we find the majority of the planets in a retrograde position as Neptune joins the party in what the fuck Pisces. Don't believe a damn thing you think, feel, or imagine, or you're sure to fuck something up. So be careful. Neptune retrograde in Pisces is an interesting one. And it's going, you know, pretty much for the end of the year, November 29th. So you got quite a big cycle here. I'm gonna have myself some sparkly bubble water. Ooh. Grapefruit. Grapefruit. So anyway, Virgo. Interesting cycle. A couple days later, June 25th, we have Venus finally going direct out of Gemini. Venus has been in Gemini since May 13th in a retrograde motion. And it hasn't been giving Gemini all the love it should. So now that's going to be going direct. Gemini will be feeling clearer, more loved, more nurturing. All things Gemini will be more attractive. Now, hopefully we're mindful through this Venus retrograde cycle for everyone. Venus retrograde is a horrible time to be getting relationships, horrible time to be making commitments. I started dating a girl one time when Venus in retrograde, and sure enough, as soon as it came out of retrograde, It was nasty. I didn't like it. She didn't like me. I didn't like her. Who am I to be dating during Venus retrograde? Yeah. You don't want that shit. So anyway, that would be that fifth planet going back in direct. So then we only have 4 retrograde punches. It's fantastic. Fantastic, kids. Only 2 days of 5 wacky planets in retrograde between June 23rd and June 25th. On June 28th, we have Mars finally leaving the sign of Pisces, where it feels very confused, very cloudy, very murky. Mars wants to move forward, it wants to take action, it wants to do things. When it's in Pisces, it's spacing out, it's in the depths of the spiritual realms, emotional realms. It's all wishy-washy, it's feeling things, and Mars doesn't want to feel things. Mars wants to kick some fucking ass, get some shit done. So Mars back in its home sign of Aries is feeling fantastic. Mars goes home and it's feeling confident, snug and happy. It's ready to do shit. It's time to act, kids. Just make sure you're not doing stuff while your mind is an egg in a frying pan. Those planets are backwards and wacky. Be wise, be nimble, see things for what they really are. Don't be deluded, and move forward with confidence. No room for emo Joe and his feelings about what is what during Mercury retrograde in Cancer. There's just a lot of backwards energy, but we're going to find ourselves wanting to really move forward, and depending on how this aspects you, a lot of people are going to be wanting to take action. And when we do, we got to make sure that we're not deluding ourselves, that people aren't deceiving us, that we're not acting on fantasies versus reality with all this Neptune and Pisces energy, and that we're communicating clearly. So usually we just have one retrograde or one cycle to deal with, but here there's multiple kind of layers of possible confusion or problems. So this is really learning how to master our intuition, the spiritual realms, the emotions, and learn to sort out what's what, right? So it's okay to have all these different energies, but when it comes down to making practical earthly decisions to move forward, we have to know what's what and what place everything sits in, right? So this is going to be a month of finding that balance, knowing what's the emotions just being the emotions, what's the fantasy just being the fantasy, and also being able to identify when people might be deceiving us, right? So that's a lot of all at once to balance. But if we're in touch with our emotions and if we're in touch with our intuition and our state of knowing, it doesn't mean that we're being taken by our emotions. It means that we're in touch with our state of knowing, that our mind is clear enough, the mind is quiet enough, we're not overly stimulated, right? We have the courage to feel what we feel, and we're not trying to escape it all the time. So we're out of touch with our truth, right? So we stay connected with our truth, and we are able to navigate this and move forward without creating a lot of problems. So it gets a little tricky, guys, but it is a wonderful skill to help hone and develop. 2 days later, June 30th, we got a wacky one here. We got a retrograde Jupiter conjunct a retrograde Pluto in Capricorn. Now this is in an area of the chart that's been around government and these huge transformations on government that we've seen in the last so many years. We have the new guard, the old guard fighting it out, right? Boomers versus millennials, old ways, new ways. Big transformations in government and old structures. So this is kind of just touching back and bringing us back as Jupiter goes retrograde out of Aquarius back into Capricorn. It's just going to kind of touch on some of these issues again. Let's back this bitch up into another bitch backing it up, and make sure you exchange insurance information. Shit gets shrill and the weather has been taking you there, but you'll find out what you're really made of. You got more strength than you have thought. You may have thought. This month is all about self-reflection and seeing what's real and what's not. Drop that bitch into second gear and brake this shit into July. Take it easy. Stay laid back. There's a lot going on. All right? Like I had explained, we got mystery, we got deception, we have fantasy, we have all sorts of wacky stuff. So just keep clear. Don't get on the hype train. Don't be tripping out, man. It's the last thing we need. People tripping balls. Anyway, that is the astro weather for June 2020. Virgo, I hope that helped you out a little bit. This is the time of the show where we get into... I don't have it. Damn it. Oh, there we go. Hanging with... I should have did that at the beginning of the show. I didn't even know I had that. Hanging with... I was looking for the Turo reading portion, but I guess I don't have it. Anyway, it is time to roll into the Turo. Maybe not. Maybe I'll shuffle first while I talk to you. So you don't have to stare at a red fabric the whole time. Virgos? I'm a Virgo. I'd be kind of excited, right? All these changes going on, but I know Virgos, you know, it's exciting. They're finally finding some sense of purpose again. There's just some, it's just like it was like fucking in the desert for a decade or something, that kind of feeling, right? It's just like, and all of a sudden the Virgo's like inspired again. All of a sudden Virgo's got some inspiration. All of a sudden Virgo wants to get out there and make shit happen, right? Starting to find your little groove again, your little spark again. You had to release and let go of a lot of things. So I'll do a tarot reading here, and what we'll do is we'll kind of just tune into the general energy for Virgo for the month of June 2020. There'll be themes that'll be universal that can be applied to life in their own ways. You fill in the blanks, I'll tell you the themes, and you make it happen the way that it makes sense for you. Right? See what's going on. It's funny, I make my own music here, and that little part, I always find myself singing when I'm cruising around. I'm like, alright. This one right here. Alright. I should get a DJ over here. I should do like a dance party tarot thing sometime where I'm like spinning and then pulling cards for people. That's what I gotta do. That'll be fun. I wonder if I could do that. Like in between songs, I could be like, yo, hold on, dude. I'm fine. Right? Let's do it. That sounds fun. Anyway, oh yeah, Tarot, Virgo. Look at, I just found my crystal, and I just found at my last reading it looks like a dong. Look at, it's got 2 nuts and a wang. I'm just like, who knew? Who knew my crystal was a dong? You know, or I guess you could say it kind of looks like a gun. I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, I can't look at it. It makes me laugh. So I'm gonna just go ahead and move that over there. All right. All right, Virgo. Here we go. We got stack 1, stack 2. Stack 3, we take stack 2, we put it on stack 1, put it on stack 2, goes on stack 3. Out comes the nature of the reading. Let's see what the hell is going on. We got the Lovers in reverse. We want partnership. We want connection. We want creation. We want to make things happen. We want that spark of life back, right? We want to create. Masculine and feminine. Sexuality is just symbolic of all of creation. All possibilities of creation, right? We're over ourselves. Virgos are over themselves. They're over thinking about themselves only. They're over, you know, thinking that they've got such great ideas. It's like you've been in isolation and hung out with yourself so long, you're kind of sick and tired of finally appreciating yourself so much, right? And you're like, God, you know what? I really learned that I do appreciate myself. And now I think I would really like to share that with someone else in a true, meaningful way, and maybe not in such a vain way that I have in the past. You know what I mean? Right? Maybe in the past, you know, we got options, right? So you got options, and don't take things too serious, right? But then you get older, or you go through experiences, and you're like, God, you know, it kind of means something to learn to work with someone else, right? So, learning to work with others, learning to slow down and appreciate, understand that people are not all the same, and that's okay. Now, up in the spiritual realms here, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles in the spiritual... Let me explain the spiritual. The spiritual realm here is the divine realms, right? So this is divinity, this is the angelic realms, and this is typically a totem or a message directly from spirit to help you on your journey, right? To help you kind of move forward here. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the cards out here so I can see what the rest of the message is and synthesize it. Queen of Wands in reverse. As you know, you're coming out of a situation that there's emotional dependency, right? There's you're relying on other people to get your needs met, emotionally, physically. Typically, this is codependency, not being self-fulfilled completely. So you kind of look to others to fulfill you, right? And then so there's a lot of emotional dynamics and emotional dramas in relationships, and then they don't work out right, and you're kind of left sitting there having to figure out how to do it on your own, right? So we don't want an empty cup. This cup's upside down, all the water's poured out. You want it right side up. You want your cup full, so when you're moving into a relationship and connecting with someone, you have something really truly meaningful to offer, right? Three of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting cards. Come up 3 times in the last 3 readings. So 3 of Pentacles in reverse. This is in your subconscious realms. This is what's truly motivating you, and you're ready to work with others. This is very much about working with others. Now, whoa, we got the devil. The devil in the near future. Let's see what's going on in your attitude about the situation. Well, this is clear. You're mentally clear about it. You know what's going on, but you might be fucking around. Virgo likes to fuck around. Wow, interesting. Hermit upside down in your environment. Things are starting to move forward. Tired of all this time. You have the 8 of Cups in your greatest hopes or greatest fears. You don't want to walk away from something. This is absolutely tripping me out. We just did this, I think it was Leo, just the last reading had exactly the same placement. Had the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Has nothing to do with shuffling. We mix it all up. What is this? 9 of Wands in reverse. Outcome card. So, opening up a little bit. That's great. We want to open up, right? We may have been hurt in the past. We may have spent a long time being hurt. We may have spent so much time being hurt. So much time being frustrated. So much time renewing ourselves, right? That we kind of almost got sick of it. It's been that long. There's an amazing thing about time where we can be so wounded, right? We can say, I'll never love again. I'll never do this again. I'll never, right? But literally just full on starvation mode. Full on letting go. Truly letting go. There's no charge, right? And then one day you're like, oh, I'm ready to... God, I think I could love someone again. I could really get into a relationship. I could learn how to really work with other people again, because I've exhausted all the other options. I've exhausted myself. I've exhausted, myself. I got to know everything I needed to get to know about myself. I did all that work. I looked at all the darkness, and then one day you just wake up and you're like, wow, I'm completely and ready to have a give and take relationship with and fully appreciate it and not take it for granted. So this is fucking amazing, man. Back to your reading, Virgo. Just want to do a little sidebar with you. So anyway, like I said, nature of the reading is, really wanting to have an authentic, real, true connection with someone else. And getting kind of tired of only focusing on yourself. The message from the spiritual realms, this will be your totem for the month, is this Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is, this is someone who's very motherly, down to earth, very, very secure. So, these are very much Virgo, Taurian and Virgo-like energy, very earth mama, right? This is someone who's very practical. They take their resources seriously. This is someone who's saving their money. This is someone who's calming down. This is someone who's not running around burning off their resources or burning themselves out. This is someone who's getting rest. This is someone who's nurturing themselves and has a lot to offer. Look at that lady, man. She's like, yo, boy, you want this? And you're like, yeah, I do. So imagine you doing the same, right? So that's the message for you guys. Slow down, collect your resources, get plenty of sleep, eat well, right? And have plenty to offer. You're getting your resources back. In the past, there's been, some codependency. There's been imbalance, and we're moving out of that into the Queen of Pentacles energy. That's your new totem. You're not the codependent, kind of bitchy, feminine energy. You're the, collecting resources and nourishing yourself in well-being and goodness, feminine energy, right? Subconsciously here, this is another card when it's in reverse like this of learning to work with other people. If you have, this is in the subconscious placement, so this is a deep desire to provide value, right? This is like, hey, you know what? My self-esteem's been really low for a long time. Now I'm recognizing that I do have value, and I'm learning to change my language about how I speak about myself and how I present myself out to the world. I'm not scared anymore. I'll put a nice shirt on, I'll scrub my balls good and wash up and put some fragrance on and go out there and feel good about myself, and I'm cool with that. Like, I know I have something to offer. I spent enough time in the dark, but this card is all about providing value to people who provide resources to you, right? Here's somebody coming to hire him for his craft, and he's got to bring it. So this is about learning. In the reverse position, this is about this deep desire to want to learn how to provide value, whether it's in a relationship or a work relationship, whatever it be, romantically. For a lot of people, this is going to be romantic. Other people, this is going to be other. Now, in the near future, this is about confronting the past, right? So the devil is the old way of doing relationships, right? This is like relationships based on, you have big titties, like, that boy looks stuffed in those pants. Look at that fancy car. I like you because you act cool, and not that you actually are cool, right? I like you because of your status. I like you because of all that shit, right? So it's okay to have fun, right? But know that you're having fun. Don't get too wrapped up in shit. Addiction is self-inflicted. You know what I mean? So this is just, so in this reading for you, though, this is just about reviewing the past, looking at past relationships. You may even find yourself removing yourself from a past relationship or old patterns. I really see this as moving forward and kind of confronting these old patterns, right? Now, what supports that idea here is that the King of Swords is your attitude in the situation. Well, this is somebody who's the master of the mind, right? So this is someone who's discerning and sorting shit out, right? So I think you're using your sword and you're kind of chopping away at this shit that doesn't work, right? Which is fantastic. Now, what's great is that the energy around you is starting to kind of come out of its slumber and move forward. There's been plenty of time of self-reflection. And I have a feeling that, those relationships, those partnerships are going to start to activate and wake up and really start coming your way. Like I said before, your greatest hopes and greatest fears is that you're going to have to walk away from a situation. You may have to, you may not. I don't know. It's going to be based completely on values, right? So if you know that somebody shares the same values you do, then you don't need to walk away from it. You can work through it. If somebody doesn't share the same values you do, and you know this by lifestyle and by their behavior and attitude, then you can't compensate for that. There's no relationship that's going to function if people have different values. It just doesn't work, period. Don't bother. Don't waste your time. So, don't be scared. Just know that, what's best for you is that you're aligning the values with someone. Outcome's fantastic. You're dropping your guard. You're lightening up. You're like, I'm good. Like, I'm lovable. Like, it's all coming my way. I'm no longer going to protect myself or guard myself. This is coming out of a really long period of wounds and healing and reflection and alone time 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 and letting go of the past, letting go of old things, being in a void, and then out of nowhere, the star coming, the star of inspiration, and slowly, step by step, bringing you back to life, So now you've done the work enough to where you're actually starting to let your guard down, and you're ready for the real stuff. So just don't get wrapped up in the past. Don't get wrapped up in addiction. Don't get wrapped up in girls just for their booty or dudes just for their cash. Like, that's baby stuff, right? We're going to move out of that and move into a real love relationship, okay? So you're doing the hard work. You're doing good, Virgo. I hope that was helpful for you. This is June 2020, Virgo. Always love a subscribe. Always appreciate a like. It really does help me. I'm trying to grow my channel, get my stuff out there. I hope you enjoy it. Sending lots of love for June. Virgo. Hang in there. I hope you're having a great time out there. Yeah, it's wacky. Don't let the fear get you. Don't be spreading that fear, right? Just stay focused on what's right for you, what's right for your friends, what's right for your family, what's right for your community. And as long as you do that, the world will be a better place, right? So don't be tripping. Sending lots of love, Virgo. I'll see you in July. And until then, peace out.